Ohio Kohais. This is just a quick disclaimer, just to let you know that there are going to be some spoilers, if not many spoilers, during the course of this show. So just check the description to see which ones we're going to be talking about and get a bit more in depth into. And if you don't want to listen about the show, then, well, skip that part. Alright, cheers.
Yeah. So, hello, all of you Kohais out there. I'm Jordan. I am a guy. I do things for Senpai.co.uk, which is not where you're seeing this. And joining me today would be Dave, who is also a Senpai. Dave, care to introduce yourself over there?
Hello, everybody. I'm Dave. I float about mostly forums, like Anime League, where I'm actually touch reality. I do a lot of doodling, sketching, bits and bobs, and mainly just a massive anime and manga geek. So I will be doing all the reading of the sort of the synopsis of the programs, because apparently that's what I'm good at.
Yeah, you're good at reading. Unlike me, anyone who actually knows who I am knows I don't read in general. So, let's just jump right into it, and Dave will be letting us know. We're going to be using a list from Neregate, Neregate.com. We've made some adjustments. You can probably find a link to that in the description. Also, so Dave, you want to get started with this?
Yeah, go for it. Right, so basically, this is just going to be a quick list of this season's animes. I say quick, it's actually quite substantial, as all otakus know. There are a lot of new shows coming out at the moment.
Yeah, there are.
I do apologise in advance if I forget to pronounce these shows correctly, but I'm sure Jordan will correct me.
I'll try. I mean, everyone makes mistakes.
He enjoys correcting me just because, so, you know, expect a few. So the first one up is Gambare, Lulu Lolo 2.
Gambare.
Okay, Gambare. Yeah, that's, close.
right off the bat.
I fucked that one up. Basically, it's a sequel to the Gambare Lulu Lolo TV series. The anime centers around the daily life of two twin bear sisters, the orange-colored Lulu and the yellow-colored Lolo. The two take on new jobs and, despite the occasional failure and tears, give their best efforts. The season will introduce two new twin characters named Pac and Pero, who are like naughty little brothers to Lulu and Lolo. Now, from the description, it kind of sounds a bit sort of directed at, kids around about between ages like 5 and 10, so perfect for Jordan and James.
Wow.
Oh, that reminds me.
The fact that you said it that way.
We need to mention James before I continue this, otherwise I feel really bad.
Yeah, I guess. James couldn't be here because no one knows. He's just sort of been dead, kinda. Hasn't said anything for a while.
Yeah.
But we felt that today was, around this time was a good time to get a podcast out, because we have stuff that we can talk about, so better not miss out on that, right?
True.
As for this show, yeah, I do think it is based off a book, as it does say on the list as well, if you can see that under the synopsis.
Yes.
Along with a date. So, based on a book, assuming it's a kid's book. But, the whole finding a job and getting kicked out reminds me of the Polar Bear Cafe abridged I did before. It's just like a bear of some kind. No, it's a panda, so close enough, I guess. Getting kicked out of his house and had to find a job. I'm not sure if that's... I can't remember if that's how the actual series
I think
goes.
you're probably safe. I mean, it's a panda bear, so it's not like a panda camel.
Panda camel, eh? Anyway, that's that show.
Yeah.
Also, it's made by Fanworks.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll get that out of the way.
Next one up is Fusen Inu Tini. No idea who it's made by. It's based off of a book, and basically the story synopsis is: the story follows a dog who flies above the clouds with a balloon. Now, if you can't get any more simplified than that, apart from floating dog in sky, I honestly don't really know what to say about this, apart from, again, it's probably directed at very, very young children or people with small brain capacity.
There is a butler bunny and just two sort of
Siamese
penguin twins. Wow.
Well, it kind of is.
I was going to say twins,
I
but
mean,
I mean, they look connected in this, so I guess it could be. Who knows?
I mean, you have a
to discriminate.
You have a butler rabbit with a mustache.
With a mustache.
And a dog.
That doesn't even look
like
like,
if anything.
It doesn't at all. But anyway,
No,
it looks more like a
it
prairie
kinda
dog, actually.
It does. It could be close. Anyway, moving on to the next one, Terraformers. It's made by Linden Films, and it's based out of manga. And basically, the story begins in the year 2577, 100 years after scientists sent cockroaches and mold to terraform Mars. However, when the first manned ships land on Mars, they encounter large humanoid cockroaches with great strength and are wiped out. So, kind of typical humanity death squad on Mars made of cockroaches because of human stupidity.
Wow.
Humanity then sends elite warriors to Mars to eliminate the cockroaches. I mean, this is basically a Japanese version of the household war against cockroaches gone
yeah.
like galactic.
Low income American family war again, just like living in this shitty little apartment. It's like mold everywhere, cockroaches crawling around.
It is. It's basically.
It's like, wow.
I don't even know what to say about that. I mean,
I don't either. I mean, I've heard people talking about this show, so it's something. This show is also available on Crunchyroll, as I mentioned with the list. It'll be, as of right now, everything in this list is just shows that we know as of today that are available on Crunchyroll.
And it will get updated throughout the shows, by the way.
Oh yeah, I mean they'll end it by like next week, I think. So probably have an updated version listed next week's as well. It's literally just a Crunchyroll icon in the corner of it, just so as we know. But yeah, that's Terraformers available on Crunchyroll to view if you want to do that.
It does sound.
Trying not to promote illegal usage of.
Yes,
anything,
I am a firm believer in if you like anime, then please by all means find a site that streams it and subscribe. They do not do it out of the kindness of their hearts.
Maybe they do.
Some of them might.
I mean, you don't even need to subscribe because ads funds it.
Yeah.
But hey, we're not going to get too much into that because I'm sure that's not what anyone wants to hear.
So, next up we've got Tribe Called Crew. It's made by the Sunrise team, and it's apparently an original. It kind of has the same graphic appeal as Kim Impossible. And
it's Kim Possible, but...
whatever. I don't know. I didn't watch that shit. Basically, Hanaru is a middle school, excuse me, sad student who loves dance to the point he can hear rhythm in the sound of chalk during class. One day after school, in the secret spot where he practices dancing, he meets Cannon, who's there to practice as well. They have a great time dancing. As she says, they'll have a great time dancing, so, win. And eventually face off against rivals in dance battles as they grow up. So it's kind of like a kid's version of Step Up, basically.
That sounds
terrible.
So good. It's so terrible, but because of that, it sounds so good. This one also available on Crunchyroll as of today.
It is.
I say as of today, but it's been on there for a little while. But yeah, you know what I mean. I might just watch like the first episode just for the hell of it.
Just so you can see how really bad it is.
Just because I want to know how bad it is. Yep.
I mean, consider.
Sunrise seem to be doing quite a lot. Just like on the first glance of this, there are like 3.
That looks like quite good. Yeah, I see one. Yeah, they do Gundam as well. Gino Rekagusta.
Yeah.
So that kind of says a lot,
Gundam,
really. I mean,
they did yeah, I was about to say they did Gurren Lagann, but I meant Code Geass, but yeah.
Yeah, he did two
Sunrise
completely
is
different
quite
shows.
reputable.
So, they...
No, it wasn't that. It's just for some reason Gurren Lagann came up when I thought of Code Geass. Or Code Geass, as the manga entertainment inbox likes to say. But, moving along.
Next up, we have Aikatsu, 3rd season. Obviously, if you've seen the 1st and 2nd seasons, basically it's just a follow-on from that. There's no real plot summary available for this. I mean, if you've seen it, you kind of already know what it's about. It's based off a card game. And it kind of reminds me of Fantasista Dolls, if I'm honest. It's definitely a step up from Pokemon, though.
Also by Sunrise, by the way, which is why I mentioned it earlier. Just looking at
yeah,
it,
good point.
And from what I kind of looked up to see if this was on Crunchyroll, because I remember seeing something that looks vaguely similar. And in looking into it, it looks like it's sort of an idol type of thing.
Yeah, it does kind of remind me a little bit of Love Live. I mean, like, art-wise, it's quite, sort of around that kind of style.
Yeah, I think it's
typical school life.
It looks to me like it looks to me like a cross between something like Love Live and a Magical Girl show.
That would be amazing. Magical Hanukkah, win. Magical Hanukkah, best Hanukkah. Um,
Okay.
next up, we have Denkigai no Honya-san. I think that's probably how it's
Yeah,
pronounced. Well,
Denki Guy no
at
Hyun
least
San.
roughly. It's done by Shinai
Yep.
Animation. The youthful bookstore comedy revolves around the folks who work in a manga shop deep in a certain Electric Town neighborhood. Dagenki Gai, or Electric Town, is a popular name for shopping areas that specialize or used to specialize in electrical and electronic items like Tokyo's Akabara. The protagonist Umio works part time at Books Umononi, along with his senior at work, but not in age, Hiotan. As many dedicated manga fans visit the store, there is always something going on. Now, I kind of watched the OVA for this, and it is quite funny. It's not safe for work because
Oh.
during the OVA, he's basically pulling porno magazines out of boxes in the stock room, hentai stuff.
Wow.
So, and all the girls are kind of like, you into this? And he's like, yes. Uh, it looks a bit weird. It's one of those short series, I think, but it does look quite fun. I mean, it's a genuine sort of comedy.
Yeah, it does seem like it would be quite good as a shorter series, like something along the lines of Himagoto, which is amazing.
Oh,
Fucking
it
love
is.
Himagoto.
It is really
Um,
bad.
no, Himagoto is
It's
amazing.
really bad.
Yeah, look, I would say it'd be either a 4 or like a 12 sort of minute long would be good. Something maybe along the sort of lines of comic book artist and his assistants. I could get what it was, like in Japanese. I forget what its actual name was, but that was a good series too. Also short, but hey.
Oh, I can't remember what it was called, but I'm reading a manga kind of similar to that. But I can't
Yeah.
remember what it's called either. I got too much stuff
Yeah.
going on in my head at the moment to actually remember what I'm sort of working through show wise, manga wise, etc. etc. Anyway,
Yep.
next.
And that show,
Huh?
yeah, and that show is also available on Crunchyroll.
It is.
Just so you know.
I will actually remember to add the Crunchyroll bit on to these shows when
Yeah,
I
was gonna
realised you
say,
went to all
so
that
far,
effort.
I don't mind doing it, but it's fine.
The next shot, the next show
So,
is
yeah.
Danaganani wo Itaru ka Wakaranai Ken. Basically, its English version is I have no idea what my husband is saying. It follows a husband and wife who get married, and he's basically a NEET. He loves anime, he's a big otaku, and he pretty much dies if he can't watch or read anime. The first episode of the series was really quite funny because it's one of those quick flicks. It's only about 6 minutes long, I think, if that.
Right. Yeah.
And basically, to get him to do stuff, she has to be all like Moe. So, like, he's like, oh, if you want to go out, show me Moe. And then she just goes, meow. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to take you out today shopping. And it does look quite funny for a quick flick. It's made by some company called Seven. I'm assuming they're not very well known because these sort of quick indie flicks are quite obviously quite short because they don't have a lot of budget to work with. But it's still good.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I'm not sure personally, but it's like I can see them just. Sometimes it's a better format for them as well as that. I guess it's not so much a case of like just not having a budget. It's a case of with some shows it just genuinely works better.
Mm. I did do it.
Like with the show Tonari no Sekikun, that's like 7-minute episodes, but it really works out in its favor that it's that long. Other shows do like Sechikaya Kuindama. It's basically that, and I think Yuru Yuri as well. I can't remember the other shows, but it's like they sort of have an A and a B side, so it's just like multiple sort of skit episodes in one,
Oh,
which each add up to about 7 to 12 minutes each. So it's like
yeah, it kind of works with that one. I mean, I did a little bit of research on the Seven Studio guys, and nothing really came up. So I'm not assuming they're
Yeah.
they're too huge. Anyway, next up we've got a Margie Brilliant Park.
Wait, hold up. That one we just mentioned also on Crunchyroll.
Fail me.
Rip.
I'm just gonna rip. That's it. Die.
What? No.
Deaf to me.
We don't have time
No,
for
we
this.
don't have.
Go.
Yes. Amagi Brilliant Park, Kyoto Animation. The slapstick drama begins with Seiya Kani, a high school boy who is invited on a date in an amusement park by a mysterious, beautiful transfer student named Zuzu Sento. I actually thought that was going to say transvestite. Moving on. He is introduced to Ratifa, a real princess and the park's manager, and is asked to be the acting manager of this disappointing amusement park in the Tokyo suburbs. So this kind of seems like it. has kind of like a good feel to it. You get to.
It is also Kyoto, which are very, very, very well known for doing things such as Free. Most recently, I think.
Yeah.
Um, I'm if this one isn't confirmed for Crunchyroll, but if it was, I would probably watch it just because it's there. I did see a PV for it, so there's definitely a PV out there for this show.
I may have to try.
I think it was back when it was a sort of teaser.
Yeah, I may have to try and find that because it does look good.
Yeah, it's based off a novel as well, so it's like it's not original. It's based off a novel, but the novel is close enough to being original, right? Yep. Shots fired. Not really. Anyway, moving on to.
Can I skip Gundam? Because let's face it, Gundam sucks. Nobody cares about Gundam.
Yeah, we might as well. Gundam G no Reconguista.
Yeah. It's
original. It's by Sunrise. If you've seen Gundam, you probably know what Gundam's all about. If you like Gundam, if you've never seen Gundam, probably watch earlier ones and then move on to this, I guess.
Yeah, there's probably not.
Gundam's Gundam to me.
Yeah.
I know that there are differences because I know people who are good big Gundam fans, so I have to say that. But
Est says she doesn't care, so Est is basically the boss. It's part of Gundam's 35th anniversary celebration, so it's just basically the show marks the return of the franchise's creator Yoshiyuki Tomino as the chief director. So this is the only kind of reason of the show that's come out. He's kind of like, I'm back, and here's something. There's going to be more. Da 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 da. So for Gundam,
anyway, we should
for
just
Gundam fans,
move on.
It's great for me.
Gundam fans, go for it. Anyone else? It's up to you.
Watch better stuff.
I can't tell you what to do.
After that, we've got Selector Spread Wixos, which is done by JC Staff. It's an original. The artwork does look quite good.
It is a sequel. By the way.
It says original down the bottom. I saw that first.
Yeah, but I know, but it's a second season. It's originally made by the company, but it's a sequel.
Sequel to the Selector. Okay, sequel to the Selector.
Yeah. Original just means that it wasn't based off of any source material of any kind.
Oh, okay, cool. Well,
yeah.
I'm going to start that one again because I'll just cut all that previous bit out.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I got lots of editing to do.
Outtakes.
Selector Spread Wixos, done by JC Staff. It's a sequel to the Selector Infected Wixos TV series. Basically, in the story, Wixos is a hugely popular card game, starting to kind of sound like Cardfight Vanguard, particularly among middle school children. Well, this is sounding original, but few known of the LRIG cards, the female cards who possess their own will. Only special little girls can hear the voice of the LRIG, and those who possess these cards are called selectors. So this is kind of like Cardfight Vanguard, except for only little girls can actually play the real man's game version of it, because only they can hear the female cards with their own will.
Of course, that's how it should be. Only the little girls can hear the voices.
It's true, which is
crazy young'uns with their.
It's why everybody says women are crazy. This show is pure proof.
Yep, this show essentially says women can hear all your playing cards.
Exactly, so.
If you liked Yu-Gi-Oh! As a kid, that explains why your mother is crazy now.
Yep, exactly.
She would go to the store, buy you your new deck, and she'd be like, "Shut up! Fucking stop talking to me, Blue Eyes. God damn it, Dark Magicon."
Basically, it's proof that women can hear all.
Yep.
That one is not on Crunchyroll, although I'd probably watch it if it was, purely because it kind of sounds like
I did think that the first season was, but apparently not. I did look it up. Didn't seem as if it was.
No, it wasn't on there. After that, we've got Garo, Hono no Kokuin. The Garo drama franchise has a dark story that revolves around humans that have the job of Makai Knights, people who fight against demonic beings called horrors. The first television series in the franchise revolves around Makai Knight Kogu Sujima, who tries to save a girl named Karu from her fate of death after being tainted by demon blood. So this is kind of... I can't quite grasp from this particular description whether or not this is like a series about a kind of a drama show, or if it's genuinely a show because of the way it's worded. I'm assuming it's about a genuine show. It's not like some kids watching a drama series.
I think it might mean that it's based off of like a sort of J-drama or something when it says based off drama.
Yeah, possibly.
to me, just like based on like the image that we have here, it reminds me of some sort of Super Sentai bullshit.
Yeah, it does keep.
That's just me. I mean,
I'm expecting to see Super Saiyans in this, so.
I said Super Sentai, not Super
Yeah, I know,
Saiyans.
but
Like Power Rangers, basically.
yeah, I know, but there's probably going to be
Anyway.
a Super Saiyan version. I can kind of see the
Why
armor
not?
behind
There
him.
probably is. Who knows?
After
Anyway, I guess you can splurge on this one.
I'm splurging mega on this one. Everybody who likes SAO will also probably like Log Horizon, and finally they have got a second season, and that was aired, I believe, yesterday. Fucking awesome,
Yep.
is all I can say. Brilliant first episode, brilliant
Way
opening.
to date this podcast.
Yeah, you got to.
That's fine.
Yesterday was the
You don't have
4th,
to.
by the way.
Typically, people don't.
Anyway, it's basically.
I know.
I'm gonna slap you.
No, go forth. Go forth, young one.
Log Horizon is done by Studio Dean. Now, this is the sequel to the first series, obviously. You know, if you haven't seen it, go watch it now. The story begins when 30,000 Japanese gamers are trapped in the fantasy online game world of Elder Tale. Something I think most of Steam owners would probably love to happen. Because, let's face it, Elder Tale is way more fun than real life. What was once a sword and sorcery world is now the real world. Shiro, Natsugu, and Akatsuki. Akatsuki's best because she's like adorable. Joined together to survive. Now,
wow, I didn't know anything about this show. This does sound like SAO.
It does sound like SAO, but there's a keen difference. Unlike SAO,
Of
who
course.
completely ruined the plot, like by not having any on the first series, Log Horizon had a really solid plot. Really good development, great character development, and a cute girl who's an assassin, and she she's really soft technically.
Living in the database or some shit.
Yes.
I made a joke about the series and I haven't seen. Yeah.
You can't.
All I see is database everywhere.
It is its database.
I don't fucking understand. I don't fucking
It's
get
because
it. All I remember is I saw a preview image that's literally just like spreadsheets and shit, and it was a literal database. And I was like, ha, that's funny. I like you. Made a joke about a database.
it's because
This is what a real database is. Word.
Yep, it's because basically
Yep.
the entry track to Log Horizon is Man on a Mission, and there is a line in there that is like, database, I'm living in the database.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow.
When you watch the intro to the actual series, it kind of fits, and it is good fun to watch. But it's
Yeah, I'll have to get on that sometime.
yeah. I don't know how we're gonna
I
just
think I was gonna watch start SAO season 2 when I'm done with Nisekoi, which we'll get into later. And then probably after that I'll get on Log Horizon, and then I'll wait for season 2 to be done.
I would watch Log Horizon first series before I'd watch SAO, because then you won't be sorely disappointed with it afterwards. That would be my suggestion.
You see, honestly, for those of you who don't know me, which you probably don't, I like dubbed anime. Personally, for the most part, I'll never like wait to sort of just like say, okay, I'm not gonna watch this anime as it's airing because I want to watch it dubbed. If the dub's coming out, I'll probably wait because I can do other shit while I watch it. I'm not a big fan of reading, as I've said before. But again, I'm just a dub scrub while Dave's a sub scrub.
Yep. Hashtag scrub life.
Yep. But basically, Log Horizon's first volume is coming out in November, so next month. In about a month from now, there will be a dub of it.
But
But only the first half, so I'm sort of in between, like, should I just wait and be able to watch this with, like, ease and be able to do all this shit while I spend... How many episodes? 26?
26 episodes, yeah.
While I spend 12 hours watching this show, I could be doing stuff.
Nah.
It always feels a lot better to me to watch a dub because at least I'm not feeling like I'm wasting time. In terms of I could be drawing mangoes, but instead I'm watching. Yeah, but Log Horizon Season 2, like Season 1, is available on Crunchyroll for your viewing pleasure.
It is,
or
and you definitely should go
displeasure.
and watch it. It's a good series.
Yeah, I mean, I only
I
haven't because
fully condone anybody watching this series. Anybody that's this terrible.
I only didn't because everyone was super hype about it, and I was like, just yeah.
It is good. I mean,
I'm that kind of guy.
I found out about it afterwards because obviously I did SAO first, so I went the other way about it, and they were like, oh, if you like SAO, then you'll love Log Horizon, and sure enough, yeah, I did. It's probably because I technically dream about living in a fake world where I'm actually in Warcraft.
Don't all gamers at some point in their lives. I mean, let's be honest.
Mine's been all my life. I want to be an orc. But I'm too pretty apparently.
Oh no, we're completely different in that respect. Fuck orcs. I don't care about Western mythology, but that's
you don't want to be an orc. Let's
different.
face it, you want to be a girl.
I want to be a super kawaii moe girl.
You just want to spend your life in an anime doing moe stuff. As a little.
No, I want to spend my life in a Tales game. There's a big difference. God.
Anyway, moving on because we're rambling.
Yeah.
Less rambling. Magic Kaito 1412, done by A1 Pictures. It kind of has the same feel of the art by Ghibli Studios. It kind of sort of reminds, it kind of reminds me of that.
I wouldn't know, but okay.
It's more detailed. You don't like Ghibli
Yeah.
Studios anyway, so you got nothing.
No, I was gonna say the main thing that you see with Ghibli anything is the eyes mainly are the most sort of iconic in the eyes of someone who hasn't really watched nor cares to watch. But go on.
Yep. Basically, yeah, you gotta stop interrupting. It's terrible.
Gotta make discussion, man.
We'll have to cut it out. I think if I'll cut this particular piece out. I'm just thinking for an idea because we do overlap each other quite a lot, like talking.
Yeah.
So I think what we should do is I'll finish up doing like the thing and then pass it on to you, and then we sort of like have a thing where we have to kind of like work out who's passed it back. If that makes sense.
No idea.
Okay, we'll carry on.
I mean, you can read the description and then give your thoughts, and then I'll give my thoughts, and there'll be a little bit back and forth, and then move on to the next.
Yeah, that's probably better because otherwise we're gonna have a lot of editing to do.
Because the only downside is a case of if I want to say something about something you said, it's a bit like. But anyway, go on.
We'll work through that anyway. Basically, it's okay. So Magic Kaito 1412. It's done by A1 Pictures. High school student Kaito loves magic. Obviously, his father was a genius magician with a secret identity as the Phantom Thief Kid. It kinda sounds a bit dodgy. Unfortunately, his father died in an unforeseen accident in a magic act. 8 years later, Kaito unexpectedly learns of his father's secret identity, and that he may have been murdered. In order to uncover the truth, he dons a silk hat and a white cape to follow his father's footsteps as the Phantom Thief Kid. So it's kind of like a typical boy's parent gets killed, and he finds out he's kind of like his father's protege, and he actually might have been murdered, and kind of goes after the thief as his father's previous sort of fake identity. So I'm assuming it's probably going to have something to do with like a rival magician, and something around that.
Yeah, I can. You see, as soon as you said parents go, I was like, oh my god, he is Batman, except with a white top hat and a cape. He's white Batman.
He's white man.
Sure.
It does. It's like magic. It's like magical Batman.
He's Magic Man.
So it's not Magic Kaito 1412 anymore. It is Magic Man.
Magic Man.
Mahol Man. Alright.
Yeah. Based off a manga.
Yeah, based off a manga. Not available on Crunchyroll, unfortunately.
Fucking never available on Crunchyroll.
Doesn't sound that great.
Oh yeah. Nah, I probably won't watch it personally.
Next up, we've got Madame No O Tu Vanadis. It's probably pronounced differently.
Vanadis. Vanadis.
You're getting off topic.
Of course.
It's made by Satellite.
Satellite.
That is not how you spell satellite.
Oh well. That's not how you spell Vanadis. Yeah,
so
anyway.
Tone Vanadis, done by Satellite. God,
don't cut anything out.
I'm just gonna have it up as like one whole piece, apart from the piece where we're like, yeah, we'll change this.
Yep.
The titular. I
Oh my god! Wow. Boom! Right up in there. Just getting straight into this. Let's go.
If you're gonna screw up
I'm
completely.
listening. I'm listening.
can't stop fucking laughing now.
Oh my god, it's so good. Okay, fuck it. You can read about this one because we're apparently too busy dying over the fact that it's the titular Venardis.
So, the titular Venardis of the fantasy story are beautiful girls who ride into battle brandishing weapons received from dragons. Wow. Okay. There are 7 such Venardis who rule. See, I can't even read straight now. The first line got me. There are 7 such Venardis who rule 7 territories and instill fear in neighbouring countries. A boy named Tinguru is a minor noble in the kingdom of Buruyunu, who encounters Venardis in battle. She is the silver-haired, red-eyed silver Fraulein, Erin. She defeats him, but instead of killing him, she takes him prisoner. This, I think, is going to be like turn into a harem, basically, about this kid who doesn't get killed by the woman, and then she likes him, and then, you know, he kind of like basically reels them all in and becomes ruler of the world.
Basically, your thinking is just gonna develop Stockholm syndrome, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, oh my god, I love you, my captivator.
Well, come on, if you've got a really hot bird who's got a massive weapon, and and she's a titular Vanadis, who wouldn't?
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I do not like the fact they use German words in Japanese mangas, though. Silver Fraulein.
It's fine.
I mean, really? Always gets me. Unless they're genuinely German, in which case, like, I can kind of live with that. Anyway, up next on the list is Ushinawata Murai wo Murameti?
Ushinawareta Mirai wo Motomete. Yeah,
I was close. Basically, the story is set one autumn in the Uchiyama area with the construction of a new school building. There will be one last general club festival at the old building that is slated to be closed. The students vowed to go all out to make this final cultural festival a success. So this is starting to sound like a kind of like a high school club festival type thing, but with a little bit of a twist. The astronomy club of the protagonist Soyakayama is filled with the big names of the campus. Just before the festival, the club receives a request to calm the uneasiness among the students. There are reports of ghost sightings, accidents, and other mysterious incidents at the old building. When Yuri Furukawa, a quiet girl who transferred late into the school, appears before Sue, the gears of fate slowly begin to move.
I thought it was going to take that sort of turn, just based on the picture.
It kind of gives off this sort of not horror, but sort of suspense anime. That's old school buildings getting torn down, and there's poltergeists and stuff that live there that don't want it to be torn down, and this girl's involved somehow.
Yeah, it reminds me of a little bit of Dusk Maiden of Amnesia in the sense of ghosts living in old school building type of thing, from what I remember of it.
Yeah.
Fucking great show, by the way. Really fucking upset with myself that I've been on hold for so long.
That's just not good.
But that's not the show. It's so fucking good. But yeah, by feel visual novel, not on Crunchyroll.
Boo. Okay, next on the list, and this is a really comprehensive list. I think I might have to skip a few and just sort of pick some randoms, because this is taking a considerable amount of time. I will pick the best.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I was thinking this would take like an hour.
This has probably taken more than an hour, hasn't it?
No, this is taking like 30 minutes.
We might be able to get through it all then. Let's.
I was gonna say we'll try and speed up a little, so as you guys don't have to fucking listen to us ramble about bullshit that doesn't matter or interest us. So
we'll keep it quick. Next one up on the list is Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works. Really, really worth watching. Just went and finished off the prologue, which is 47 minutes long, so kind of like an extra for, like SAO did. They kind of compiled everything in, but this is genuinely 47 minutes of Rin just being awesome. If you've watched Fate Collide Liner with Ilya, because Ilya's best Ilya, she gets a mention in every show.
Ilya is only Ilya.
You've got Rin in Rin Tosaka in that, and basically she is the main protagonist in Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, same as with Fate Zero, etc. The intro was great. I really have to say they really outdone themselves on this. It's a fantastic series. I'll give you a quick...
It's UFO Table.
Is.
you expect things from Ufotable nowadays.
They are a great provider of some,
They do the openings for Tales games, so good job.
Exactly. So Jordan likes them purely on that basis.
Only on that basis.
Basically, this is an alternate retelling of the Fate Stay Night TV series, and it's a remake of the Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works movie. In this series, Tosaka Rin will be the major female character. Revelations about Shiro and his destiny will be made. Shiro being Ilya's brother in Fate Collide Liner.
Oh, okay.
So if you've watched Fate Collide, I'd probably advise that first, because then it makes this one like, what? No, when you're watching it. Yeah, it was really good. I'm really pleased that I've seen this. I know Jordan refuses to watch any of it yet.
I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm gonna watch the second season of Fate Collide Liner because that's the only Fate-related thing I've seen so far. I've been told not to watch Fate Stay Night, just the original, because it was apparently shit, as everyone says. But I'm also told to watch it, and then I'm told Fate Zero is best thing ever, and I've been waiting to watch that with a friend of mine who we haven't actually gotten around to it yet, because we've been meaning to watch a lot of shit, and he hasn't come over, often enough to get through it all. I'll definitely watch this one at some point though, no idea when. Because I was actually waiting for this because I thought it was going to be a remake of the original Fate Stay Night anime.
It is a remake of the Fate Stay Night movie.
Yeah, I know. It's like, because I was thinking, because back when no one knew anything about it, it was like, oh, it's a remake of the old shitty one that no one fucking liked. And I was like, cool, I'll wait for that, and then I'll watch this, and then go to Fate Zero. Which is apparently not what you're supposed to. I fucking don't know anymore, but I'll give it a look. It's on Crunchyroll, so no real excuse not to in some ways.
Mm-hmm. Okay, up next we've got Grisaya no Kajitsu. It's probably not how you pronounce it, but the first part of this...
You're going the wrong way.
Am I?
Yeah. And next we actually have Cross Ange.
Oh no, I skipped Cross Ange.
Rondo.
I had a quick flick.
You skipped all of the other ones, but...
Yeah.
Wait, why'd you skip Cross Ange?
Because I read through the synopsis and it seemed a bit boring.
Well, I mean, we'll at least mention it because it's available on Crunchyroll.
Oh yeah, okay.
So you should mention the ones at least that are available.
Okay, we'll do that one first then.
Cross Ange, no idea what it is. You read it, do you have like a brief summary to like knock it out?
Yeah, okay, basically. Cross Ange Tenshi to Ryu no Rondo. Humanity's obtained a technology called mana, similar to magic. So basically they've obtained magic. And by using its power, they've been able to do sort of the wars out, starvation, just general world problems. There's a princess in the Empire who's supposed to wear a crown. She realizes that she's a Norma, which is an irregular existence that cannot use mana. So basically, a princess of one of the countries that can use mana happens to be one of those people who can't use mana, and they're treated as like heretics and as things rather than actual real people. So she's kind of like having to get everything stolen from her and deal with everything, and she sort of isolates herself and becomes part of a group of girls, like the Norma girls, who know nothing but fighting.
Based just on what you said about not being able to use light mana, that reminds me a little bit of Breakblade.
Yeah.
In the sense of like lower class can't use this thing, and then I'm gonna guess that whatever's about to be said means that she finds a way to use whatever they're on about.
Kind of. Basically, it sort of takes a flip turn. She's not really lower class. I mean, she's a princess that can't actually use anything. So she ends up isolating herself on a desert island, or apparently a desert island, and joins up with a team of girls there who are also Norma girls, as explained earlier. They're ones who can't use this new mana. And basically, they spend their days riding humanoid robot weapons called Baramaru, hunting giant dragons that have come to Earth through another dimension to invade. So she kind of goes from being helping the world directly as a princess to stopping dragons from trying to invade the world through special portals. So she kind of finds a way to make herself useful and still protect her country. I think it's going to be she'll probably at the end of it she'll be like the heroine, and because she'll have this badass robot thing, and that's kind of the way it's going to go, I think.
Yeah, because that does remind me of Blade in the sense that he can't use like basically the giant mech type things that they use, but there is like a special one that doesn't operate on the same power that people can use. So it's like, and then he's the only one who can use it because everyone's too dumb to understand how manual fucking controls are apparently.
Yeah.
Anyway, next is World Trigger, also on Crunchyroll. I'm guessing you didn't find this one interesting either. So.
To be fair, I think it's the artwork, but I have learned not to judge a book
understand.
by its cover, as I've seen a few animes that I've looked at first glance and thought it looks crap, and then
yeah,
watched
I was
it.
that way with Code Geass because I was like fucking long ass necks. That just throws me off. Watched it.
And it is kind of good. So we'll cover this one. Basically, a gate to another dimension has burst open, and from it emerges gigantic, invincible creatures, kind of the same thing, that threaten all of humanity. Earth's only defense is a mysterious group of warriors who have co-opted the alien technology in order to fight back. So basically, it's an Earth invasion story, and there's a group of kids, by the looks of it, that have stolen the aliens' tech and kicked their asses with it.
It's by Toei Animation, by the way, so you know who that is, right?
Yes, Toei Animation.
Fucking Dragon Ball and all that
yeah,
shit.
So it's probably going to go the same way as One Piece.
It's from someone reputable, at least.
Yeah, exactly. So, you can probably expect good things from it, but again, it comes down to like your taste and and what you're into.
Of course, everything is subjective. We're not saying like fucking you have shit taste.
You do if you don't like
In our
Ilya.
eyes, maybe. If you don't like Ilya, you have shit taste.
See, that's coming from Jordan.
It's good, you cheeky scrub lord.
So up next, I'm going to skip Nanatsu.
World Trigger is available on Crunchyroll, so I might give it a look.
Yes, it is. Next up is Grisea no Kajitsu.
Well,
most people that listen to this, if
I
skip
was going
one,
to say,
don't worry
well,
about
just mention the name and then say, I don't think it sounds that great. Move on.
No, because like that's a bit unbiased. Then for us, we should be able to review everything.
But then we're not, because everyone will look at this list and be like, oh, they skipped something.
Yeah, it must be bad. Okay, fine. Okay,
Wow.
so Nanatsu no Taizai, it's done with A1 Pictures and it's based off a manga. It looks alright. It's basically some warriors about the 7 deadly sins were sent into exile and there's a princess. Doesn't really look that great. There's a talking pig that probably gives it some extra, goodies, but it kind of looks a bit like a Legend of Zelda sort of anime style type thing. Apart from the talking pig.
It looks visually, it looks a lot like sort of an 80s
yeah
type.
When you think of this of Nanatsu no Taizai, you think Dominion Tank Police or possibly even the older version of what's it called, Macross.
Right.
The Macross Fortress and stuff like that. It kind of gives off the same sort of vibe with the animation. But next up, we've got Grisea no Kajitsu. Finally, been waiting to tell people about this one purely because the first line of this is it's an anime adaptation of Frontwing's adult PC game Le Fruit de la Grisea. Basically, it's probably got a lot of fan service in it. So.
Wow.
Keep watching this space because I'm going to have to watch this episode. That's just come out on Crunchyroll about 2 hours ago, but I had to do this podcast, so I haven't been able to watch it. Jordan, the story is set in an academy that is basically it's a cloistered orchard. It's for girls to be educated and cultivated away from external influences. 5 girls spend their lives within these walls in repentance and atonement. Yuji Kazami has just enrolled as the sole male student there. So, it is blatantly going to be a massive harem anime, a bit like Asteroids Toy, and honestly I cannot wait to start watching this. Because there is no hidden secret, I love harem anime.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to watch it just based on reasons.
He's watching it because
Reasons.
it's an adaptation of an adult PC game.
Don't judge me. I've played Boob Wars. I know how these things work.
Yep, play with the boobs. Always works.
Yep. Like you said, available on Crunchyroll 2 hours ago. In fact, so.
Yeah, it's based off a visual novel, so it's not some sort of original thing that's just popped out of nowhere. It does genuinely look good, and I'm not
animated by 8-bit. I've heard that before, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, they've done a couple. I can't remember off the top of my head which they are. I'll look them up at some point. But basically, apart from that, it does genuinely look like a good show. And yeah, it's harem, blatantly harem. You can't have a one male person in an anime in a all-girls school and not be a harem, take Blade down to Elemental as blatant harem anime. They say it's not.
IS as an example.
Yes,
also
harem anime. So if you're a big harem fan, go watch it. Next up, we got Okami Shoujo to Kuru Oji, which is basically
Kuro,
whatever. Which English version is, I believe,
something about a wolf and a rabbit.
No, it's not. It's Wolf Girl and the Black Prince.
Oh yeah, fuck. I got Kuro and Usagi mixed up because Kuro Usagi from Problem Children.
Yeah.
That's all.
So, fail.
Rip in peace me.
It's done by TYO Animations, or Toyo, whichever one you want to pronounce it as. The story centers around Erika. Basically, she's a vain 16-year-old girl who has her first sort of day at school, and to try and impress people, she fakes that she has a boyfriend. Obviously, after a couple of months, everybody's kind of like, we haven't seen him, and she's only doing it because she wants to make friends. And basically what happens is she takes a picture of a guy in the street who's, apparently really hot, and says, this is my boyfriend. And it turns out that it's a guy in the class next door to her. So in order for the secret not to be found out, she asks him to, pretend to be her boyfriend until she can kind of get the balls to tell everybody that she was lying. And he's supposed to be this prince, so through the first episode you kind of see him be really nice, he's helpful, he's lovely, etc. So typical, really nice guy. But when he finds out what she did, he basically treats her like a dog. And you find out he kind of has like a really sadistic side where he wants to have her basically act like a puppy and basically take orders from him like a master. So it's kind of based around him and her having this sort of like weird fake relationship where she does everything for him and he kind of covers for her when she gets in sticky situations, due to having the fake boyfriend thing. But it does genuinely seem like a really good show, and I enjoyed the first episode. It did leave me wanting to watch the rest to sort of find out whether they end up liking each other in the end, or whether she ends up dumping him because she finds somebody but her doing so makes him happy. It can go both ways at the moment.
Huh. So is this on Crunchyroll then?
This is actually on Crunchyroll. You didn't put it on the list, but it is on Crunchyroll.
Okay, I messed up. So yeah, this is on Crunchyroll. I'll have to fix that at some point. Huh, didn't see it. If this is actually on Crunchyroll, then fuck yeah, I'll check this out. Visually, it looks, it reminds me a lot of Say I Love You.
Yes, that was also a good show. And to be honest, I think this is quite similar to that. If not, it's very similar to My Little Monster.
Yeah, I fucking love that one. So great.
So after this one, we've got Sora No Method. This is fab. It's brilliant.
This is a show that not only you but others have come to me and said yes, and yes again.
Yeah, it's pure yes. I mean, you basically have this, cute little sister type girl. She's an only child, and it kind of gives me off this feel that it's going to be a magical show, because during the first episode, you find out there's this big saucer spaceship thing, kind of like that looks like a star galaxy inside. It's not conventional when you think of saucer. You don't think alien spacecraft. This is actually like a see-through snow globe, and it's got loads of squiggle patterns and all this other cool stuff. And it's just been sat there, and it's been there for so long that people have just turned it into a tourist attraction because it never did anything. It just turned up and that was it. So they all panicked, and it was like 6 months down the line, nothing's happened, and they're like, oh well, we'll just make money out of it. And anyway, this little girl, she comes back to her hometown after leaving behind a new friend, and she's completely forgotten all about her. And you find out this little girl has there's a second little girl, by the way, called Noelle. She is sat in an observatory, and she's been waiting for this other girl to turn up for years. Basically, she's been gone for a fairly long time, and she's been sat there. So we can assume she's to do with the spaceship. I won't ruin any more of it because it's so good. I don't want to spoil this even on here with a disclaimer. It is so good. The first episode really opened up a lot of doors for the future of this show, and I think a lot of people will really like it. Plus, it's an original. It's not based off anything, and for an original program, it's fantastic.
Studio 3 Hertz, by the way, is Studio. It's original, like I said, and based off just her look, and you mentioning a flying saucer, it reminded me a lot of Demperona.
Yep.
Just based on look purely, but I'm definitely gonna watch this because, like I said, people have been fucking telling me to, and it does genuinely sound like a lot of fun. So it's on Crunchyroll. No reason for me not to really. We're gonna try and go through these a bit faster now, try and summarize the synopsis, because this has literally almost been an hour now.
Yeah,
and we do have some other stuff to talk about.
We do. We'll probably stop at about an hour and a half, because then cut out about. You got to remember, we're gonna probably cut about 10 minutes of stuff out of this.
Yeah, I know.
So anyway, I'm just gonna pick a few shows out of the list that we've got left. I mean, other bits I can catch up on the next show. Basically, if you've seen Chaika, Coffin Princess, she's got a new series out. It's basically the sequel, and it's called Hitsugi no Chaika Avenging Battle. It centers around Toru Akura, which is the guy who's got the Iron Blood skill in the last sequel. He's a 20-year-old retired soldier meandering through life now that the war has ended. And he encounters Chaika, a 14-year-old sorceress carrying a coffin, and follows her in hopes of finding meaning to his life again. The two travel with Toru's adopted sister Kari, and the employed member of the group, and thus Toru's source of income. So basically, it's just that synopsis is more of a rundown of the original series rather than the new one. So this one is probably something to watch out for. It's apparently half on Crunchyroll because somebody doesn't know how to copy and paste the entire emblem.
No. You see, the thing is, this isn't announced for Crunchyroll as of yet, but the first series was on Crunchyroll.
Oh, okay, so there was a reason.
So I marked it I've marked it as this because the last season was, but this second season isn't confirmed, so it might be going up. It airs in 3 days, so we have some time to see if it actually does so.
Okay, cool. So that makes more sense then.
Yeah.
Right, so fair.
Yeah, I did tell you beforehand.
Oh, okay, I forgot. Never mind. So, yeah, anyway, the first series is on Crunchyroll, and the second series I would have thought would probably come on there because obviously they've got the first series.
Yeah, that's why I marked it as that. But
the first series was good. There's a lot of fight scenes in it. It's got a good plot to it. And, I genuinely enjoyed it as a kind of offbeat sorcery kind of show. So it wasn't conventional sorcery. They use weapons and special amulets and stuff. They can't just sort of flame ball people off the bat. And I think the other one I'll cover purely for James. Sorry, Jordan. Just purely for Jordan.
I'll read this one. No, I'll read this one.
Okay, go on then. I'm just gonna pick this one for you anyway.
Yeah. Ore Twin Tower ni Narimasu. Also known as best show of the season, hands down. Hasn't aired. It airs in 4 days. Hopefully Crunchyroll picks it up. It's not announced, but hands down, best show. I'm saying it now. Fuck all you guys. I don't care about your opinions. Best show, 10 out of 10. The story centers around. I'm not even going to read this. Basically, it's a guy named Soji. What happens is some chicks are like, suck bitch, heard you like twin tails, and he's like, fuck yeah, I love twin tails. And then she's like, want to become a twin tail, and he's like, holy shit. Then he becomes a lolly with twin tails, and it's amazing. Also known as Tail Red. His childhood friend, I believe, is Tail Blue, and some other chick is Tail Yellow. There are 2 PVs of this out. The ending theme is called Twin Tail Dreamer, which is fucking amazing sounding. Haven't heard it yet. And the other is, I think it was Gimme Revolution, which is the opening, which you can hear in a PV, which is currently out. I've actually looked into this show unlike anything else this season, so... Dave, you may talk, I guess, if you want to. Production IMS.
Yep. There is not much to cover in this really, apart from, by the sounds of it, a guy turns into a chick with 10 tails, twin tails.
Fuck yes. If they were drills, then just I'm done. Best show of all time. But they're Twin Tales. Twin Tales just not as good, but
no.
Good.
So yeah, this looks like it's going to be a fun show. I'll probably give it a watch, seeing as Jordan seems to like it. So
I'm just so fucking hyped right now.
It's probably going to be one of those shows he'll hype about for a week, and then it'll turn out to be terrible.
No, it'll be one of those shows I'm hyped about because of just how ridiculous it is.
Well,
it's like fucking dude turning into chick with twin tails, and they're just like actually addressed as twin tails. Like the title is "I Want to Be a Twin Tail."
Yep, that's definitely you in a nutshell.
Fucking yes.
So basically, that
is that all of yours? Because I'm just gonna go through a few of my own.
Yeah. That's all on the list that I can sort of cover. I mean that covers from sort of the end of October, end of September technically, up until sort of mid-October, end of October for the shows that are coming out.
I mean, they don't usually start shows half season, but if any do come out, we'll probably mention them. I'm just going to list off the ones that we missed out that are on Crunchyroll, which are Gugure
Kokuri-san.
Kokuri-san. Kokuri, that's the one. Kokuri Forest, I don't fucking know. That's a show based on manga. TMS Entertainment, that is on Crunchyroll. Kaito Joker, based on the manga. Shinai Entertainment, which we had a show from before.
It's Shinai Animation.
Yeah, that's the one. Who are doing that one short show about the bookstore.
Yep.
It's on Crunchyroll. Orenichi no I'm not sure if this one actually is on Crunchyroll, because that might have been the one I accidentally added. That's apparently on Crunchyroll manga. Asai Production. Fucking everything's entertainment. I'm messing this up.
You are. This is why you're not reading.
I know. Yowamushi Pedal Grande Road. TMS Entertainment is a sequel to that one show about cycling. A show that I'm actually gonna watch and I'm kind of excited for, I guess. English title is When Supernatural Battles Become Commonplace. I'm only really interested because it looks kind of cool and it's by Trigger. It's based off a light novel, so it's not like an original by Trigger. Those who don't know, Trigger is like sort of ex-Gainax, and there's some people know Gainax fucking awesome and crazy, and Trigger so far they've done Kill la Kill, so also kind of crazy.
Gainax is in the guys who did Evangelion.
Gurren Lagann, Panty and Stocking,
yeah,
etc.
They did do in Evangelion as well, didn't they?
I think they did.
I know they done 1.0 because I've actually got the bromide still from one of the shows, or from the movie or whatever it is.
Trinity 7 I'm assuming is going to get announced Crunchyroll because it seems quite big, unless Funimation's picked up. We're not mentioning Funimation, by the way, just because we can't get it over here in the UK.
You can.
If we had
if you have a VPN, and plus Funimation ruined
an actual VPN. Yes.
Funimation ruined.
If you're using a proxy.
What was it? Oh, Christ.
If you're on about a dub by
No. I was going to say Funimation basically stole all of the UK Netflix anime shows purely because they wanted to make their own. So fuck you, Funimation.
Wow. Yeah, Trinity 7 I think is going to be by them. I've heard things about Trinity 7 that sound cool. I might check it out at some point. Gundam Build Fighters try. Gundam Build Fighters is the only Gundam show I'm actually kind of interested in, because like I have built like models of things. I have a Gundam like model kit. Technically it was my brother-in-law's, but he just sort of left it here and let me have it. So
can I cut in with something?
It's just funny because,
sure. Basically there is a show apparently out on the 12th of October called Girlfriend, or Kari. It's the anime adaptation of Girlfriend Kari, a school dating simulator game for smartphones. I've just realised that's there, so I'm going to go to the Apple Store now and see if they've got it. See you later.
Wow, what a guy. Anyway, that was Gundam Build Fighters try. Psycho-Pass Season 2. Is there a reason you skipped this? Have you not seen Season 1?
I haven't seen Season 1 of Psycho-Pass, but I kind of wanted to cover Psycho-Pass on the next run, because I'm going to go through a few episodes before we do it.
Yeah, dude.
Just to give it...
Psycho-Pass is fucking great.
Yeah, just to give it a bit more of kind of like a bigger section, because Psycho-Pass is one of those animations which there's been a lot of hype, there's been a lot of good reviews, and I don't want to just be like give it its own tiny little segment and be like, yeah, this is Psycho-Pass.
Most of these we're going to talk about again.
Yeah.
Most shows here going to go into more detail once we've actually seen some of them.
Most of them I've watched.
Psycho-Pass season 1 was great. If you know someone who likes sort of gritty-ish crime drama type things, this is actually a really good anime to get them into it. Like, really good. Because it's essentially that. It doesn't have, like, a dickload of anime tropes. It's just, like, it's there. It's really fucking great. I would show my mother this anime because she likes CSI. Other than that, I can't really think of anything except for the fact that I will also watch that Girlfriend show.
Yeah. And I'm also going to download. He's going to download the app too. I will say.
I probably won't. I don't have an iPhone, and a lot of Japanese things don't exist apart from that one game for fucking
Love Live. And Love Live exists for the iPhone as well, because I play that loads. I will say one thing about Psycho-Pass that I did read. Basically, it centers around. Do you remember a film a while back where they could? It was.
Don't talk to me about films.
No. There was a film quite a while back. Basically, they could judge when you were gonna, or if you were gonna make a crime.
Fuck. Yeah, that's actually one of the only ones I've seen.
It's not Equilibrium. It's
fuck. We watched it at college.
You know which one I'm on about. Anyway, it's
I know. You keep going.
Yeah, basically, Psycho-Pass is an animation that kind of follows that sort of same thing. They have weapons which can, quantify a person's being and state of mind, and if they're likely to do a crime, and if it brings up that they're going to do a crime, they shoot them. That's pretty much what I've got from it, but it does look really good.
Minority Report.
Yes, that was the one. So it's kind of like it's an anime version of Minority Report, basically. That's probably
it is in quite a few ways. Yeah. It is quite a lot. I'll say that much. There are its obvious differences, but we're not going to cover like Blu-ray and OVA special type things, because solely it's just a case of if you're interested in those shows already, you'll probably go out and seek them out. The list is of course in the description anyway, so you can see that. In terms of movies, there's not really anything that interests me so much. There's a Attack on Titan movie, which some people are probably going to be interested in.
Yeah, I like AOT, but I kind of, it's one of those shows I'll watch, like in between things. It's not like it was a big hype for a lot of people, but personally, I kind of preferred.
I have
Blade
the
Dance of Elementalers, which we're going to talk about. Yeah, because you were going as Eren. So we're going to kind of like follow on from that was our fall anime sort of series that are coming out. We're going to follow on from that with a balls.
Well, we're more or less just going to talk about some shows we've seen recently.
Yes.
Both of us finished Malka. Both of us finished Blade Dance. Both of us are currently watching Nisekoi, and we both might talk about Fate Collide.
Yes, we will. We're going to talk about Fate Collide first.
Only season 1 because I haven't seen season 2, and I guess we're talking about it first. So let's go. You start off because fuck knows if I know where to go.
Alright, basically Fate Collide is a spin-off of Fate Stay Night, and it's quite easily one of the best shows I've ever watched in my entire life. Anybody who says Ilya is not best, can you please turn off your computer right now and dunk your head in a bottle of acid? Because it.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Ilya's just great. I mean, ever since I first watched the first episode, and she got her magical wand, Ruby, because the wand didn't like her previous owner and basically told her to go and screw herself. So it sort of follows on from an 11-year-old girl. She might even be 12, who becomes a magical girl. And she has to go around and defeat cards and do various bits and pieces, and makes best friends with another girl who gets Sapphire, the other Ruby's twin sister, like magic.
The girl's named Miyu.
Yeah, Miyu is super cute, and she proper loves Ilya, literally.
Right at the end, it's so good. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
The last few minutes of Clyde Liner, just perfect.
If you like,
that makes me want Miyu more. just like me is better to me.
No.
You can have your Ilya. I think we can agree on this.
Yeah, I'll have Ilya, but I'm having Miyu too. Basically, there's
Wow.
the plot. The plot's really good for a spin-off. The plot is fantastic. It's
Honestly, it's I can't say I prefer it over fucking card captors because that's just me, in my bias. But out of the fact of this and Madoka, it's the best magical girl show I've seen. I didn't like Madoka personally, so it's not really too much. But still, this is probably my favourite magical girl show, apart from card captors ever. Which it does remind me a bit of card captors with the fact that there are cards involved.
yeah. Sakura will always hold a place in my heart though, because Sakura first magical girl. It just
What?
yeah, she is pretty much like the first magical girl.
Iconic
Yeah.
magical girl.
She's probably
I
the only
think,
one you'd remember,
by today's standards.
apart from Ilya.
I mean, quite a few people would say like Sailor Moon, sort of because of the transformation.
No, Sailor Moon's lame. Fuck Sailor Moon. I'm pretty sure Card Captor was
I
out
agree
before
with you.
Sailor Moon.
I agree with you entirely.
But anyway, continuing
Sailor Moon.
on, yeah, because we sort of drift.
Yeah, dude.
Basically,
I mean, these four we can talk more than anything. Really.
yeah, exactly. Basically, with Prism Ilya, it's just it's one of those shows with really good plots, or a really good plot. There is a couple in there if you've watched the second series. If not, then the first series is spot on. Really good build-ups. The fight scenes are great. There's a lot of intense action. There's some really like sort of choppy moments where you genuinely feel like, oh balls, they're done, and then stuff happens and you're like, yeah, you just want to punch the wall because Ilya's just badass. But no, genuinely really good show. Really would recommend it to anybody that likes magical girls, sort of moe little sisters. There's a little mini harem action because everybody in the series loves Ilya, and it's
especially her
yes. There's also in the second series a creative turn with her mum gets a little bit more involved. It kind of goes that way, sort of like the family's a little bit more on the actual show itself. And her, is it her sister or her kind of like her maidservant? It's two.
It's her maid.
Yeah, I thought so. You've got her maid and her sister as well. They both play like a support role, but they're still quite funny characters. If you get a chance as well, once you've watched the first series, watch the Ilya Prisma specials because they're really good. One of them, if you go and buy the first season on Blu-ray, you get a special episode of Ilya choosing.
It's not released yet, by the way. That is listed in the specials on here.
Yep.
But I think it's later this month.
Yeah, it will be later this month. You get a special episode of Ilya choosing her first bra. Have to say, that's going in a glass cabinet and it's never seen the light of day ever because it's going to be so precious to me. My little girl's grown
up. Oh my
up.
bad. September 26th.
So that was last month then. So it's already out.
Better go and buy your fucking Blu-ray.
Yes,
dude.
I am. Straight after this podcast, I'm going to go buy that Blu-ray.
Get on it.
So yeah, basically that is out. Go buy it now. It's even worth just buying it to watch the show because if you don't like it, I will quite happily take a second copy.
It's correction. Best reason to watch the first couple episodes of the show.
Is it not a full box set?
Hashtag Japanese releases. No, dude, Japanese releases are horrible.
Oh, that sucks. I thought it was like a.
That's why I said you should get that one.
Okay, fair dues. Okay, if you want to watch like the first 3 episodes, but personally, I'd just buy it for the
Or
the
2,
bra
or
one,
1. It
the bra
depends.
special. Little Ilya's grown up. You have to have that.
10 episode series too.
Yeah, so it's.
Okay, 10 episode series. There's a dub released.
And
you don't have really any excuse.
No, and there's about 4 specials, I believe, and the specials are really funny and like quite long.
I haven't seen it.
Basically, the maid and her sister gets naked because her mum wins at cards.
Oh no! I did see that one.
No, that was good. That was good.
Before I watched the show, I think you sent me that.
So your thoughts
damn it,
on the magical Ilya show?
It's good.
Like, you just literally ate the mic then. All I heard was like, it's good.
It is good.
No, it's.
Those are my thoughts. It's a really good show. I'm personally not really into magical girl shows. Gotta roll with it when you mess up, dude. No, I just really liked it.
There's a slow-mo fuck up. personally, balls.
Yeah, it is a good show though. I would get a figure from it. That's how much I enjoy it.
I actually,
I don't really know what to say about it. It's just a good show. Really is pretty great.
it's kind of hard to
It's pretty great.
describe the Prisma show without people watching it. I mean, if you've watched Stay Night and Zero, then you will probably have already watched
Understand
this,
something,
or
or
yeah.
not, because it is a spin-off. So some people.
But
Won't,
you'll recognise a lot of the characters. I mean, Rin's
yeah,
in there.
if you're into it, if you like the Fate sort of like stuff,
I think if you just like
and
magical
you
shows,
like magical girl
or
shows,
just magic shows in general,
if you like both, watch it right now. If you like one or the other, then maybe watch it. But if you like magical girl shows, then definitely watch it. Really, yeah, fucking great show. I'd watch it again.
I'm gonna watch it again later.
10 episodes long. It's got a dub. No real reason not to. If you don't like dubs, then deal with it and read it.
Yeah, but
Was it? I think it's on Crunchyroll too.
it is on Crunchyroll. Yeah, both seasons are on Crunchyroll.
Both seasons on Crunchyroll. Really, no reason not to. Even if you watch it with ads, get on it.
Yeah, even with ads, it's
Um,
worth it. If not,
yeah,
pay the $4.99 a month and have as much anime as you want.
As much as you can probably get through in a month, I guess. I mean, you
I
can't
get
say as
through
much
quite
as
a
you
bit.
want because there is a lot they don't license.
No, there is a lot they don't
Anyway,
license, but they
though-
do have a lot. So up next,
Next we'll talk about Nisekoi, and then we'll have a bit of a spoiler thing and talk about like the ones that just finished airing.
yeah,
Because Nisekoi did Nisekoi finish last season, like halfway through ish, or was it?
no,
I can't remember.
Nisekoi I think's finished
I know it is finished, but I mean, like, was it last season or the season before it finished?
last season. Yeah,
Okay, because it's like 20 episodes long, so it finished like a lot sooner than others.
yeah.
But yeah, Nisekoi, let's get on it. Spoiler warning probably, except not really because we haven't finished it.
No, so if anything,
I'm on 15, you're on about 10, you'd say?
yeah,
maybe?
probably about 10. So basically,
I won't
we'll
say
probably
much.
ruin a lot of the show through. I mean, as long as you don't mention anything after the
Oh yeah, no,
the
I'm
wood
not.
scene.
Nothing. I will mention nothing after episode 10.
Yeah.
So,
Basically, I'll let you start this one because
well, I mean, I would be worried if I did, but well, I mean, you explained it. Basically, Dave explained it to me when I asked what it was because I have some card sleeves from it from my White Schwartz cards. But basically, it's a show where you got a guy. He's all like, "I'm into Yakuza," except he doesn't really want to be. He's not a Yakuza hard ass. He's just sort of like
he's a cook.
a kid. He cooks. Fucking love it. He cooks. I cook. He cooks. Connection. And basically, it's a case of then the new gangster. Yeah, gangster. Fucking not Yakuza. Gangster mafia comes up into town. So like, yo, gang war, motherfucker. So basically, the two sort
I
of
think I would
groups.
probably add in here like the
Yeah,
the
go on.
precursor to the meeting of Shitogi,
Go on.
because otherwise they'll get confused. Okay,
Go for it.
I'll add in. I'll just quickly fill in the bit he missed.
Yeah.
That's kind of important. Basically, the beginning of the show, you have Shitogi and who's the guy? Is it? Oh, I forgot his name. Raku. Yeah.
Raku.
Basically, Raku is the heir to the Yakuza family, and Shitogi, you find out later, is the
Daughter of the head.
yeah of the I think it's like the Bumblebee gang or the Beehive
Yeah,
something.
I think Beehive.
I think it is the Beehive gang. And basically,
Yeah.
she meets Raku by jumping over the wall to get to school and kicks him in the face. And they basically they hate each other. They purely
fucking loathe
yeah
each other.
from day one they are arguing and like he thinks she's a gorilla, and they basically they really hate each other. There is no way to explain.
The story of the gorilla and the bean sprout.
It is. So he's a bean sprout, she's a gorilla, but basically they hate each other.
Perfect match.
So this will make you understand why the rest of what Jordan's about to say is more relevant.
Yeah, thanks for that. Basically what then happens is the two like heads of the two groups have known each other and have been friends for a while, and basically they arrange in secret, just like the two heads and then the two kids. Basically the two kids are gonna like be dating, fake dating, hence why Nisekoi False Love is the subtitle of it on Crunchyroll and other places. Um, that's it. The two people who hate each other got a fake being a girlfriend and boyfriend, and it's hilarious. So then, I won't actually. I was about to call you darling just to run off how the show is because I absolutely hate you.
That's it. It's like basically.
This is the part where you call me honey.
Okay, honey. We're not lovers, by the way, James. Just so you know, because James isn't here, I'm allowed to say this, but James is the only one out of the Senpai group that likes it in the bum.
Oh my gosh.
He's quite shy about it, so don't bring it up. You know, when he comes on, and nobody mention that I've said this, okay? Because otherwise he may genuinely divorce me, because he's my waifu basically.
He is literally your wife.
I think he's everybody.
He cross-dresses all the time.
He's everybody's wife.
He cross-plays as Est.
He does.
Cross-plays as Ilya.
He also owns a Dakimakura, but he tends not to not to admit it.
Wow. Okay, let's just move on, dude.
I just, you know what, I've just realised I managed the last hour and 20 minutes without mentioning any of that, so I've done well. Anyway, so...
Well, James isn't here, so it's easy.
Yeah, exactly, so I can get away with it. So basically, Nisekoi follows on from where Jordan left off, and it's a good story. They gradually kind of, not warm to each other, I think, but they, I suppose, come to an understanding's probably slightly better.
Yeah, they do get closer as the series goes on.
They do start like having pings of love. Maybe not love, but you know,
certain heart throbs every now and then.
And the reason it's a little bit like, oh, you know, you might be sat there thinking by the sounds of it, oh, but you know, wait, you know, that's kind of what they want happening. So if they fall in love by the end of it, it's cool. But
yeah, one thing I want to mention because we did forget the locket and the keys. This is spoilers up to 10 because you know it, and it's sort of visible in the opening. Basically, Chikose and
Odenedra.
Odenedra. Odenaga. We'll call her Odenaga.
I just told you what her name was. It's Odenedra.
But it's more fun to call her Odenaga because that's like historical.
You're bad.
Anyway, those two. They have keys, he has a pendant. Basically, in his childhood, he made a promise with a girl that they would get married, essentially. And one of them had a key, and he had the locket. So, there are two of them with keys and similar memories, and then there's him with the locket, similar memories. It's like, who could it be? The one he actually likes or the one he fucking despises?
Yeah.
And it's, like, actually really funny.
I think, to be honest, I mean... With
it doesn't play as big of a role as you would think.
No, it's kind of like the locket and the key thing just sort of crops up every now and again in like critical moments where they're about to maybe find out if it's that person, and then it kind of just disappears from the scene, and then because of somebody's like hijacked the plot and it goes off in another direction and they kind of forget about it for a little while. But basically, with the locket and the keys, Odenedra finally eventually admits to him that she might be the person that he made the promise to. But at the same time, with Raku's story, Shitogi and Odenedra both have like a lot of stuff that happened with him, or not with him, with this boy they made the promise to when they were kids. They've all got this stuff that kind of like that's very different, but at the same time very similar. And Raku's kind of like on both sides, so he's like, yeah, that happened to me, and he's like, yeah, that happened to me. So it's kind of, you don't know. There's no like, it's kept equal between who it could be. And I would love for when I get to the end of the show to find out exactly he made a promise to both of them, because I'd be like, 5-year-old bigamist, pro.
Well, something does happen later on.
Yeah,
At my point, I'm not going
to. No, I figure it will. I'll probably catch up.
It does sort of like add a bit more into this sort of chemistry between the two, or well, three of them technically. Maybe 4, maybe 7. Who knows?
It could be. I know there's 4 because Shitogi's bodyguard loves him as well. She doesn't have. She doesn't have a key. She doesn't have a locket or anything. She's not super important, but basically she has a massive crush on Raku and won't admit it.
Cool.
She won't tell anybody. But yeah, basically it's I say basically quite a lot. I just realised that. So the show's a three-way sort of love triangle. I'd say four-way, but Shitogi's bodyguard girl doesn't really kind of count. If anything, Raku's just being kind of nice to her. I mean, he's generally a nice guy. He doesn't really want to like.
As most protagonists are in harem animes.
So it's another harem anime.
What was that one show? It wasn't a show. It was this like. I guess it was an eroge. It was called I'm just gonna go and admit that I do play a lot of sort of eroges. Not a lot because it's actually like 2. Boob Wars, fucking amazing. Play Boob Wars. It's fucking best game. Fucking hilarious. And another one was apparently Cosplay Fetish Academy.
Wow.
I was like, wow, that name, so something. But like,
this isn't.
It's basically the whole harem thing, but the dude is a fucking dick. Like, oh my god, you are a huge fucking dick. Not literally as in like, you know, anything in that sort of way, but like, fuck you. You're horrible. Not relatable, or like 0 out of 10. Some of the girls were kind of cool though. And by some I mean like 1 or 2. The other ones, fuck you. Anyway.
Yep, so moving on with that.
Nisekoi's great.
Yeah,
check it out.
For this season, I think
I should have watched it earlier.
You should have, and to be honest, so should I.
So, yeah, it's like the two of us sort of like equally behind on it. I said it to some of my friends, and they're like, "You haven't seen it yet?" I'm like, "No." Didn't know it was bad. It kind of looked cool. That was when I wasn't watching too much.
It's one of those.
I have a poster of it.
I think for this show, or this season, I think Nisekoi is definitely one of the ones you should be watching. Not this season because it's new, but this season because you can actually.
A show that you should be watching.
Because you can catch up on all the episodes basically.
Yeah.
So up next is probably. Yeah. So look forward to that. Up next we've got what.
We have both Blade Dance and Mahoka, which, by the way, from this point on, pretty heavy spoilers. We're just like sort of going to go nuts with talking about it. So if you don't want the show spoiled, probably cut off now. Maybe join us again at the very end, like last 5
when we
minutes.
say goodbye.
Probably get even more spoiled.
Yep.
But yeah.
Okay, we're going to go with Mahoka because Jordan.
The Irregular at Magical High School. It's available on Crunchyroll. If you didn't know, as is Nisekoi. We just call it Mahoka because that's the first word of it.
Yep. I'll let Jordan start off with this because he was the one that got me into it, and as a.
This is pretty. To summarize, super OP guy never fucking struggles with anything. He is literally God. Fucking just OP as shit. Then you have his little sister, best emote of the season, bar none. Just like there's one gif of sort of her rubbing her head up against him, and I'm like, oh my god, best gif. Gonna keep this with me for the rest of my life. Emote 10 out of 10.
We'll put that gif up onto the description as well.
If I can find it again. But yeah, it was an amazing gif. It was fucking great. Kept that in my town for like months. Other than that, it's like I like its setting in the sense of it's sort of magic, but at the same time it's technology that makes the magic happen. And basically, I'll say it anyway since it's not happening so much. Me and some of my friends were making a game, and the concept of it was basically technology that is essentially magic, and it sort of predated this. And then I watched it and was like, oh wait, this is kind of similar, except in this, because it's like, in our thing, it was like you're using programming to make magic, and that's essentially what this show is. It's essentially like, you've got to configure these machines and stuff, and that's what the dude's really good at. Makes things work really efficiently. Again, he is literally fucking God later on. Literally, he can bring people back to life at practically no... I don't care what the fuck they say. 0.2 seconds of pain, like excruciating pain, should fucking be nothing.
Yeah.
In comparison to, oh, I'm alive again. Fucking heal everyone, it doesn't matter. Just like take a break. Have a Kit Kat or something, mate.
I think maybe start from the beginning.
I should summarize, but it's like I've been watching this since more or less day one, so it's like 5 months ago since I remember the beginning.
Okay, well I'll do the beginning then because
because it is fresher in your mind.
It is fresh in my mind. Basically, Magical High School. It's the sense I get that there's a hidden plot somewhere in behind is you've got a brother and a sister who I believe aren't actually brother and sister. He is the what you call what's his name Silver. Tara Silver. He's the legendary Tara Silver, who is a massive like magical inventor throughout the world. Although nobody knows his real identity for obvious reasons. He pretty much invents, all the kind of new magical gadgets. During the series, he invents flying magic. He does. What was the other one? He's got a weird power which basically he can like just zap you and you just disappear into like a soul and float away. Which is like the devil's arm or something.
Yeah. Not the devil's arm. It's like something along those lines. Devil's something.
Or the demon gun. He also invented a sniper rifle that is so good you don't actually need to look down a scope. You just have to have a picture of what you want to shoot, and you fire the gun, and it basically annihilates like 4 kilometers circle around that particular point, and all you've got to do is pinpoint like a raindrop, as shown in one of the later episodes where he.
Right at the
very end, where he basically there's a fleet about to invade their country, and he pinpoints the mast of a boat and wipes out the entire army in one shot from the safety of a bunker.
Which is, should we just like, do we need to like bother so much about like explaining things since we are like so heavy with spoilers?
No, not really.
I mean that's like more or less it. But one thing that I want to get into since you brought that up. That and a lot of other things all happened in the last episode, and the last episode seemed so fucking rushed. Not so much rush, it's just like, this happened, boom, next thing, resolved, boom, next thing, resolved.
It was like a tie-up.
All in one episode, and it's like, it was tying up too much, and there were things that started and tied up, in my mind at least. Like, here's the enemy fleet, oh, they're leaving, Kate, bye, dead. Rip in peace.
Yeah, and the same with when they turn up at the enclosed compound, and you've got that kid, that's the general, the one with the red hair, I can't remember his name, the one that's a bombardment specialist, and basically they knock on this big gate, and it opens up, and like this guy comes out, and he's blatantly, a side plot somehow, somewhere.
He seems like a bad dude.
I don't know, he's kind of bad and not bad. You can't
I
tell.
can understand in the sense of it's like just the way he looked. He was like, no, we're with you.
Yeah, evil face, basically. And he kind of just throws out all the soldiers he's captured, and he's like, yeah, we're on the same side, it's cool. There's, here's all the soldiers we captured that tried to break into our compound, but we're cool. Cheers. So, there's something there that they opened on the last episode. They opened that can on the last episode, then left it. Didn't not left it as in that was the ending. Left it as in like that was near the beginning of the episode, and then they never spoke of it again. So I think they're saving that for a possible for the season 2. You kind of have this guy, basically this guy's brother, who's Tora Silver. He starts off the episode with having like no friends. He doesn't really like talk to people and stuff like that, but he's a massive genius, and he's basically Miyuki's bodyguard. Miyuki is the best. I've ordered a towel of Miyuki.
Miyuki is
so I can basically it's one of those scarf towels, so I'm gonna go to work with it wrapped around my neck and screw anybody that says anything bad, because I'll kill them with my demon gun. And yeah, so
Miyuki, like I said, best female.
Yeah. She is. She's like 9,999,999 out of 10, because Ilya's 10 out of 10.
Basically, well, yeah, Ilya is in a way. She's not in a sense that her brother is adopted. She's not a pure blood Emoto.
No. So, but she's pretty close.
Not focused as the Emoto either.
Yeah, they don't really play on the fact they're brother and sister as much as you'd think.
In fact, they play on the fact of it in terms of fucking incest.
Yeah, basically. It's not a show about incest.
In anime, no problems with incest. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, but
in real life, I have a sister, so I can't really say I support it at all.
No, but if she was fit, maybe.
Some people keep saying, "Wow, you have a fit sister, Jordan," and I'm all like, "I don't see it. Please leave me alone."
Yeah, talk about.
I think that's you're an only child, right? I think.
Huh?
Do you have a sister?
Yeah.
Oh, older or younger? Do you have an emote?
No.
I wish I did. Everyone does. I have an older sister. Anyway.
Yeah. So.
Emotos are cool. Emoto life.
And carrying on. And basically, yeah. So carrying on from the beginning of this series, he has no friends, and he starts building up relationships throughout the thing by helping people just in the capacity of being an absolute genius. And eventually, he gains the trust, the respect. He gains the love of a few members. And obviously they're all a bit dubious about his relationship with Miyuki, but it kind of carries on, and he makes friends. He starts fitting in with the school, and I think the general gist I got of the show was that he's her bodyguard, and he's classed as the lowest member of her family because all the magical families are split into groups with certain people or students being heads of these clans. Miyuki's one of them, and Taurus is the bodyguard, and obviously she absolutely adores and loves him. Now, from a few of the conversations he's had during the show, it kind of seems to me that he wants to actually defeat her clan so he can be free, so he can kind of like look after Miyuki and be with Miyuki without worrying that she might come to any harm or holding her over his head. Basically, I kind of get that feel when he mentioned her aunt and he said to Miyuki about not being able to defeat her just yet. So I think there's something in the works for season 2 where he may possibly gain the expertise and possibly some more magical items where he can defeat her.
You see, here's the thing. It doesn't matter. You and I both know that he can.
Yeah, he's a badass. He's basically God.
No, you're mistaken. He isn't a badass. He's God.
He is God.
It's like that's one of my flaws with it. It's a case of typically one thing I like but also dislike about the show is it goes against a lot of shows that basically what they do is it's all like you have this whole everything's going well, then you have this giant fucking issue. And then it's like resolve the issue and then everything's cool. This show is like everything's cool and then it keeps being cool for the rest of the whole show without any like oh god.
He doesn't break a sweat like an entire country
it's also
invades.
A case. Yeah, I mean it's also not just that, but the fact of I was expecting because it would have to me it was like the obvious thing that had happened. It's like this is gonna happen. Something's gonna get between him and his sister, and then it's gonna be that whole oh my god, get out! I fucking hate you, you cunt.
Yeah.
It's like get the fuck out of here. It's just it's like in a romance. It's like oh look, she's crushing over this other guy. That's who I thought the redhead guy would be.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, he's gonna be like the guy who sort of gets between them. He was in the opening as like some badass. I'm like, oh my god, it's you. You're gonna be all like, I'm gonna fuck your sister. I'm like, you better not. You better stay the fuck away from Izimoto, you cunt.
Yeah.
If you don't like foul language, I don't know. Did we mention foul language?
No,
sure.
we'll put R rated on though. It's cool.
Oh yeah, fucking. Of course we're gonna use foul language is expected as always.
Yep.
Mentioning this in the spoiler zone probably not the best thing, but hey.
So yeah.
Spoiler zone also equals no one gives a shit about how much we swear.
Very very true.
It's just he is so overpowered. I love overpowered characters, but to him it was like. There's a point between, with Problem Children, one of the protagonists was overpowered, but it was, sort of badass, aggressive and egotistical, fuck yeah, really cocky. Just, but with him, it's
he's just cool.
Dead. It's just like a popping sound, and then dead. Everyone's dead.
And if they die and he doesn't want them to die, he's just, pop and they live. Genuinely, he shoots them and they come to life.
Yeah, it's just the way that it's, I don't really think anticlimax. The thing is just there's no build up to anything. It's
because
hey,
he's gonna win.
Back. You're dead.
I mean, you.
I know he's gonna. Yeah, it's just
and after the last episode
you're
where
too strong.
Yeah, after the last episode,
you can't even get the excitement of a good old fashioned fight. It's just over.
Yeah,
Fuck
exactly.
You.
And like I said, the last episode as well, when he wipes out an entire army, you're kind of so what's his problem? Why doesn't he just go and shoot the people he doesn't like anymore?
Why don't you just say, here's a list of all the bad people in the world?
Done.
Oh, hey, world hunger solved, everyone. Fucking no problems here.
So it's a
hey,
good show.
I want to
but
go
they
for world
definitely need
domination. Everyone's my slave.
I think they have a weakness in the show. It's his sister, but that just makes him angry and even more dangerous. So I don't.
Yeah,
think,
it's not even a
Yeah,
weakness.
exactly. So I don't kind of think it's going to go anywhere. Hopefully, on the next one, something happens to him, and he's not quite as dependable in the next season. Otherwise, it's literally going to be another 20 episodes of, well, we know what's going to happen at the end. He's going to win and sleep with his adopted twin, or whatever. And that's basically
do you
going to
know
be
what
it.
happened? Because like at that one point when she kissed him on the forehead and shit happened, what actually like went down? Did they
Right.
ever explain that?
Yeah, it was explained throughout the whole series. Basically,
Because I didn't fucking get it.
he's got really super magic. He is literally one of the most powerful people ever, and he's got because it's all done with data. He's got he's got the fastest brain basically ever, and he can compute spells like that big one that wiped out the entire army with relative ease. But the reason he can't use it is because Miyuki, there's kind of like a curse on him, and for him to use his full power, Miyuki has to kiss him. So I'm assuming for him to be go Super Saiyan mode in season 2, she's gonna actually properly kiss him on the lips, and he's just gonna lose every restraint that's been placed on him, and he's just gonna go super badass. I mean, he's badass now, but I reckon he'll flip a lid in the next season.
You see, you say that.
So yeah,
but
basically, if he gets laid, then he's gonna
twice.
be. Yeah.
He's just gonna be like.
But do you remember? Do you remember Dragon Ball Z when Vegeta and Goku they fuse?
I'm aware of that moment.
Yeah, they do this fusion thing. If Miyuki and him sleep together, that's going to be kind of like that. He's going to basically be Majin Buu.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2 to see how they can rectify godlike powers.
Hopefully there's a season 2 to actually, because it's that's one of the things I liked about it was there was no sort of I'm here, this bad thing happened, I'm just waiting for it to be resolved sort of thing, which is what typically happens, to be honest. I know this is going to get resolved in some way.
Yeah, he just turns up and resolves
for it.
it.
And being frustrated. I'm just sitting here frustrated until that moment comes.
I kind of hope,
and it's I feel good about the fact that didn't happen. At the same time, I want it to happen.
I kind of hope that to make up for that, what they've done is this whole series they've gone right. He's got superpowers and he's really good and he's absolutely awesome. For 20 episodes, you've basically got him just winning, and then the next season he's going to be terrible. He will literally get his ass kicked by one particular person, and you'll kind of realize the difference in power, because you'll be well, if he's God, what the fuck is she? So, in referring to Miyuki's
that's what I
act.
thought the Crimson dude was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I was look, he has twin pistol things. He kinda looks similar-ish enough to the point of being your rival. He is not your rival, apparently.
Yeah.
He can shoot things and have people's bodies twist and explode violently, and everyone around him just be oh my god, I'm such an old bitch. Which, to be fair, if you saw someone... Was there any, if there were remains left, then fucking yes, that would stink, really bad, and I would be grossed out. If not, I'd be
no, there's no brains. They just go into a puff of smoke, and it just looks like a little soul's escaping.
Oh no, not him. I mean the Crimson.
Oh right.
Their whole body sort of twist apart and the bones breaking.
No, because it's.
Then they sort of implode and explode into a bunch of blood.
No, yeah, he did. Because if you remember the last couple of episodes, he literally just walked along and they were just
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Were there remains of the bodies or anything?
Don't think so.
Because everyone was just oh my god, it stinks. And if there were no remains, would it?
I think there were remains because they just genuinely exploded. So, but no, I mean it's a great series. It's obviously finished.
It is a great
It's
show.
finished now, so you can go and watch the whole thing.
The first 2 openings and the second ending are fucking great. Also about just a quick thing about Nisekoi is the opening is awesome.
It is.
So far, I don't. No, it does change. The opening does change at episode 15. Weird place, since that's 3/4 through the series.
Not a normal place where you would.
No, it's not. But at the same time, 20 episodes is really uncommon. 10 is sort of uncommon. 11 also 13 to 12 where it usually sits, but 20 is really... I was thinking it would change around 10, but 15 reminds me a bit of season 1 of Code Geass, because they like changed episode 20 at like 20 something. They had 3 openings in Code Geass. I'm like, no, it wasn't. It was 3 like the last 3 episodes they had a whole new opening. I was like, why? You just like paid money for that. Although that opening is fucking stellar.
Yeah.
I love that opening. So. Anyway,
Yeah, so
openings are great. We'll have to do a whole episode about talking about openings.
yeah, because I do have quite a few to go through for openings, but that's at a later date. The last show of the evening we're going to cover in a little bit more detail is Blade Dance of Elementalers. I will give you the Japanese name. I just need to go and find it because I forgot what it's called.
I should have the opening symbol on my desk.
The opening song is it's Seri Sakai no Blade Dance. The opening is Kiyomi no True Force, and it's probably literally the best opening I've ever listened to. It's like proper driving music in Japanese.
It is pretty great.
It's fantastic.
I wouldn't say best for me, but it was definitely fucking amazing.
No, there's a couple of characters in it. You've got Claire Rouge, or Rouge, they pronounce it Rouge, I think, who is the Calamity Queen's sister. We'll tell you a little bit more about the Calamity Queen later on. You have Kamito, you have Est, you have the Sylphid Knight leader, Crap. She's not called Crap. I just literally forgot her name. Right off the top of my head, then. Come on, you should know.
Hey man, don't expect me to remember things that you can't.
This is really bad. I need to remember now.
Oh my god.
I know I am actually going to have to go and look at the character list, because all I remember is Est and Kamito, because Est is best. And
it even rhymes.
I'm actually having a look at the
rhymes.
Wikipedia now for all you douchebags out there, because I'm really terrible. Okay, so you've got here we go. So you got Team Scarlet, which is Kamito Kazuya, Claire Rouge or Rouge, Elise. That was it. Elise Farangart. She's the leader of the Sylphid Knights, which are the protectors of the school. Basically, kind of like a student council body. You've got
more like disciplinary committee, I guess.
Disciplinary.
Disciplinary committee is what I meant to say.
Yeah, you got there. You've got Rinslet Lauren Frost, who appears in the first episode. She kind of saves Kamito from having to sleep outside and builds him a shed. A
really shitty
yeah,
shed.
bear in mind this is like a really shitty shed. You got Fiona Ray Audacia, which she is basically she's a princess of the Dacian Empire, and she's the contractor of the family spirit, Georgios. He's like a big, he basically resembles a massive Gundam, with a shield and a lance.
I would say he's more like a massive knight.
No, he's Gundam, basically.
Gundam
Knight. Yeah, Gundam Knight. She has a Gundam Knight.
Problem resolved.
You've got Terminus Est. She is the contracted spirit of Kamito. And every time I say Kamito, I keep thinking of Camel Toe.
For fuck's
I
sake.
don't know. People can probably understand where I'm coming from with that. Basically, Terminus Est is the cutest character you will ever find in any show ever. Just
More than Ilya?
yeah, more than Ilya. I love Est infinitely as much as I love Ilias. It's kind of like a one-on-one thing. And I'm going to give you a quick rundown about Est because she is so adorable. Basically, she's...
I'm just going to sit here and let you splurge.
Yeah, I'm going to splurge all over Est.
You have the urge to splurge.
I do. Est is Kamito's second contracted spirit. Basically, due to his guilt for making a second contract, and he won't abandon Restia, who's this kind of demon spirit. The contract was only partially completed, so Est can only use about 10% of her power. So she can't return to the place called Astral Zero to recharge her batteries, as it were. Astral Zero is kind of like the spirit plane, which these guys can go to and have little blade dances and stuff. And it's where the spirits reside, so they can, when they go back there, they charge themselves back up. So when the next fight comes along, they're fully kick-ass. Whereas Est can't really do that. So she spends a lot of time sleeping in sword form to recover her strength. And basically, it means that Kamito can't like summon her with his spirit seal because it only works if she's in Astral Zero. The spirit seals are basically the contract stamp on a person's body, which they use to call forth their contracted spirit. Now, she's really adorable. She's about 12 to 13 years old, body wise. She's got white hair, blue eyes, and she can use her powers in human form, but needs to be wielded as her sword form, because then Kamito can like power her with his own energy, to really sort of bring her out what she can actually do. And she's a kick-ass sword. She's usually quite stoic, like she's very like monotone, so she doesn't show any emotion when she's speaking. Really, so everything she says during the series is quite funny, and she loves being like pampered by Kamito and fed loads of food. And she gets really jealous when he sort of like pays any attention to other girls. She's also really jealous of Restia, and so in an effort to please Kamito, she tends to read a lot of Claire's porn, and wears like really skimpy costumes from like Fianna's wardrobe, and basically he does get excited. He kind of like he's a decent, genuinely decent guy, so he tries to correct her, but from being that way. But always ends up being caught by like Claire or Elise, and they end up like kicking his ass because they think he's a pervert. And yeah, so basically Est's like probably one of the main characters next to Kamito, and she is like just adorable. There's one scene in the series where they're trying to make chocolate for like Valentina Day, and she comes out in just a pair of stockings and has chocolate all over her chest, and it just says "Eat me," and she's.
I think you're about Est.
I am on about Est, yeah. And so Est turns up in front of Kamito completely naked, basically with "Eat me" written on her chest in chocolate sauce, and all the girls obviously think that he's a pervert and set fire to him. Yes, you lewd beast. Hentai. I can't remember what the lewd beast one was, but it makes me laugh. You've got the team's spirits, like their contracted seals. You've got Restia, which was Kamito's first contracted spirit. She was sealed in a ring and taught Kamito everything about the world beyond like the school, and giving him emotions and contract spirits and stuff like that. And she was resealed, so she became a bit of a evil bitch. And you've got Scarlet, which is the cat, which is Claire's contracted spirit. You got Fenrir, that is the I'm trying to remember what spirit that is now. That's Lauren Frost's one. Fenrir, the ice like wolf. You got Simorge, which is Elise's, and that's a hawk, and she's mostly a wind spirit. Fenrir's ice, Scarlet's fire, and Georgios is kind of a holy spirit. And Kamito is a demon killing spirit, and Restia's a demon spirit. So there's a lot of different sort of spirit types in the series. But as as far as that goes, that's the main sort of characters you end up seeing throughout the episodes, the first 12 anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think I missed much, did I?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that's good then. But yeah, I mean, so you've obviously watched it because I told you it was great, and then what are your thoughts on it?
It was good.
Do you know what? That was so funny. It just made me fart.
Wow.
I laughed and then just sort of went.
Just like, honestly, that's my opinion on most things. I'm very bad at giving in-depth reasoning behind things, apart from the fact that S was fucking fun.
I think Est makes a lot of the comedy in the series like genuinely funny, purely because of the monotone kind of responses. and she doesn't really hold.
Yeah, the sort of deadpan responses are always
Yeah,
fun.
and she doesn't really have an emotional um, self, so she can't convey things kind of the way they should be. So when she says something that could genuinely be sincere, it just sounds really lewd. And
Yep.
she seems to have this thing where she can wake up in Kamito's bed in the morning completely naked, and it's totally fine. But if he mentions her stockings, which is all she wears, her knee-high socks, then she suddenly thinks he's a pervert.
Yep.
It just makes me chuckle. If you're gonna
Stockings are enough.
stockings are well enough. So I mean, if you're gonna watch anything, I think Blade Dance of Elementals is I would pick over Nisekoi and possibly even Prisma, purely because it's really, really good and it's only 12 episodes, so it's one of those shows you can kind of fit in a short period of time. I believe the 12th episode was the last one as well of this season, and I do believe there is going to be a second season coming out for it. The original manga actually started Christmas Eve in 2010, and it's still going. There's currently 14 volumes. So you're probably looking at around.
It's obviously doing well enough to keep going that far then.
Yeah. I believe there is. Let's have a look. Yeah, Blade Dance of Elementals light novel series. First volume was published on 2010, and as of April, 13 novels in the series have been released. So there's still going to be a lot more. I mean, the most recent one came out in April, and it looks like they do about 3 a year. There was 4 in 2011, 4 in 2012, and 3, and then 1 so far this year. So I'm expecting the next one's due, fairly soon.
Yeah.
But obviously the last.
Or never.
Yeah, or possibly never. That could have been the last one. But the last episode of the anime has obviously finished, called Ren Ash Bell, and that kind of brings out a little bit more of Kamito's background. It won't completely ruin the series for you, but I know there are some people who genuinely like to know before they watch stuff. Even if it does
to be
spoil
fair,
it.
this is essentially spoiler area, so
Yeah,
I doubt anyone who wants recommendations is going to be here.
No, exactly. I think overall,
But hey,
the plot takes a really good turn. I mean, there's enough comedy in it to kind of break up the obvious internal struggle between Kamito being kind of really guilty about screwing things up with Restia. They're not letting a lot slip about Restia just yet, in the anime itself. I think purely because they kind of want to save the best bits for the next season. And the same with Claire as well. She's got there's a side story with Claire trying to find out who and what happened to her sister, who's the Calamity Queen. She basically tried to do something with the Fire King spirit and wiped out an entire population or something. And only Claire and a few other people survived, and she kind of gets shunned because of what her sister did, and she wants to find out why. Obviously, she did what she did because her sister's just vanished from the face of the earth. So I think she'll pop up later down the line, and I'm kind of looking forward to seeing where they take it. I really do want to get hold of the manga versions, but I don't think I found an English copy of it yet.
it's very unlikely.
I think if this show gets.
I mean, based on what you're saying, is it a manga or is it a light novel?
I believe it's manga.
Because the way you were saying it, you said there were like 13 novels released or something. If it's a light novel, it's very unlikely that it's going to get an English release.
Yeah, possibly.
If it's a manga, it's slightly more likely, but at the same time, it's still not very likely. We don't get too much stuff over here unless it's super popular. I don't think, unfortunately, I don't believe that Blade Dance was really that popular. Out of like just general feedback from it that I've gotten from people I know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh no, actually, sorry. I'll tell you what. Basically, right. So there's been 14 light novels. There is a manga that is currently out, and it's still ongoing. There's 2 volumes of the manga out so far.
Yeah, there's no way that's going to be localized anytime soon.
Not this soon anyway. It's licensed by Sentai Filmworks, and the English network for to watch it on is Crunchyroll. That's who have actually been able to license it. After that, it's ATX, Tokyo MX, and MBS, and TVA. So apart from those obvious ones, the original run for the series, it started in July 14. So it's been a while since it's been out. So the spoilers aren't really going to be much new to people who've seen it.
You say it's been a while since it's been out, but it's not.
We're in the new season. We're in the new season.
You say that, but it was
real otakus would have already finished last season's by now.
Wow.
But yeah, no, that's
what are you trying to say?
You're not a real otaku.
Neither are you, Mr. I still haven't finished Nisekoi.
Fucking am. I just got too much stuff to watch.
Exactly. You haven't finished it because you have too much.
Yeah, I've got props. I got props to build. I've been doing bits on that as well. So
I have mangoes to write.
Yeah, mangoes to write. That really works.
I don't write. I just draw.
So yeah, basically, I think that pretty much covers us for a podcast at nearly 2 hours long.
Yeah, dude.
That's about average.
That's the reason. No, I mean, future episodes probably won't be this long. Honestly, it's mainly due to the fact that we have a long list of shit to go through, which did take like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So that's like the key thing to this.
I think having a long opening
future episodes will probably just talking. We'll think of topics, mainly just shows, other types of things. Like one day, once someone gets a webcam and we play more, we might talk about Why Schwartz, because it's a great, fun little game.
Yeah, we were going to cover
very anime related in the sense of
the shows
series.
Yeah. I think we'll cover that on the next. We'll do a little mini episode this week of just me and you, a quick 30-minute thing on Why Schwartz, like a separate chunk.
Yeah, I mean, what we're also planning on doing is every week, sort of coming back and being like, okay, these are shows that are airing, or just any shows really, and just sort of give you a quick update. Between 30 minutes and an hour.
Yeah.
Really no more than an hour, hopefully. Just like an episode each week. It goes out like that, and every 2 weeks we'll have a main episode, like a big topic of some sort, and then, the usual thing that we talk about on a weekly basis as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Not sure how often James will be showing up, since
he's a scrub.
James, yeah, Lord of the Scrub.
But so anyway, that should cover us for this show, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did.
Cool.
In future episodes, if user interaction becomes a bigger thing, then we'll probably have some sort of Q&A type thing going on.
Yeah, we'll quite happily answer any questions or comments, and if you've got any constructive criticism, then by all means, please post. If you don't have any constructive criticism, please go and kill yourself.
Unless the criticism is have less rambling, because that happens. Like, you're going to ask for us to not cut each other off so much. We'll work on it. It takes a little while.
We will have some sort of system in place.
Yeah, we're going to have to try and fix that at some point, because we do cut each other off.
Yeah, and if you're talking and I'm not trying to say something, then yeah.
Episode 1.
So anyway, basically, yep. So any constructive criticism is welcome. If it's not constructive, then by all means, please fuck off, because we genuinely don't care.
Everything's subjective.
Yeah.
Unless it's objective, in which case tell us why.
Yeah.
We can't fix it unless you're going to tell us. So.
Yeah, if you just say it's shit, then that doesn't really help. That's like looking at a poo and telling a poo it's shit. They're kind of like, yeah.
Telling a poo it's piss. Why am I pissed? I don't know. You're just pissed. It's like, no, it's a shit.
Yeah.
Literally. Stop. Anyway.
So yeah. Anyway, this is goodbye from me, Dave, and
myself, Jordan. We thank you for watching or listening. If you're watching, not sure why you're watching, because you've just been staring at an image for 2 hours.
Yep, and that image, I think, for this podcast is going to be a picture of James's face looking at his Dakimakura.
Wow. Way to go.
Just to please
James's
the crowd.
Face. Just James looking in the background of Dakimakura halfway through. Just in the background of the actual image. Yep.
Yeah, that'd definitely be worth it. Anyway, thanks guys for listening, and we will catch you in a couple of weeks. It's going to be a bi-weekly, by the way, so 2 weeks you should have a new episode out. Unless shite.
Yep. 2 weeks, main episode, big topics. Every week we'll just come back and be like, hey, here's some shows for you. Yeah.
Sounds
anyway,
good.
Thanks for listening again.
And bye-bye.
Every week in a sense,
us.
every 2 weeks. Yeah. See you later, losers.
Toodles!
Fucking filthy Kohai scumbags. See ya.
This is bye from the Senpai group.